Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'm out in the garage, kind of just cleaning up a little bit, and I figured I'd show you my new pellet stove that I bought. It's actually a second-hand pellet stove. It was $300 with the stovepipe included, so I said, how can I pass that up? And it also came with a floor protector. Not that it's necessary out here because I have a concrete pad. So, let me flip this around and show you the new setup I got. Alrighty, this is a England Stove Works, and like I said, it was $300. Runs really good, and it just takes the edge off of it out here. I'm in Connecticut. I think it's like 19 degrees outside today, very cold, and this kind of just warms it up enough to where you can work out here while your hands can move without being frozen. And this blows warm air around the room. It doesn't heat like a wood stove heats, but it's certainly nicer than having a propane torpedo heater where you're getting moisture on all your tools. This is a vented unit, so you don't have to worry about the condensation and all that you get with those types of units. For $300 with the piping included, this is a great deal. Even if you buy it new, it's about $1,000 at Home Depot for this model, and the piping is about $300 or so. So that's still pretty reasonable for something easy to install. So I can show you that it vents right out the wall here, and you could just have a vent right out the wall like that, but I ran the chimney up the side of the building in case you lose power. It has a draft that helps it. So this is the unit here. Let me open up the hopper. You can see you're not supposed to really do this while it's running in case there was a fire, but I think we're pretty safe here. So this is the hopper. Put these pellets right in here, and it holds just over a bag, I believe. I really haven't used it all that much yet since I've installed it. And you can see this is the model. Here's the clearances. So your clearances can be really low, which is nice. Latches here, not the greatest design. You really need two hands to push it down. Hold on a second. Alright, that one's latched. That one's not. Alright, got those both secured again. This is the control board over here. 9 for the heat range, 9 for the blower speed, and you got some additional options below I haven't messed with. They're on the factory settings, but some people get longer burn times. I'm really not out in the garage that much to worry about it, so I don't care so much about it, but you might. I have it up off the ground. I think it's 18 inches or so. You kind of want to have it up off the ground in case you got chemicals around. But I also don't really have I don't have much for gasoline or propane or anything like that stored nearby, just as a safety measure. So if you're thinking about putting a wood stove or a pellet stove in your garage, you might want to consider putting in the pellet stove instead of the wood stove, because you could just kind of set this and let it do its thing, where a wood stove, you have to really monitor it a lot more. And a couple other things to consider: if you wanted to put a wood stove in, you'd have to go out and above the roof, which would be quite a tall chimney stack, and it'd be pretty expensive. Plus the cost of the wood stove, and you're storing the wood somewhere, it's got to stay dry or it doesn't burn very well. All things to consider. I went with the pellet stove just because I found it for $300. That's the main reason. I got a wood stove over here to install out here. But I might just keep the pellet stove, honestly, because it burns so clean. And like I said, I'm not out here a lot. So for me to start a fire and then leave coals in it while I'm off at work or inside, this is a lot safer. You turn it off, and it cleans out the combustion chamber. The flame goes out, blows all the air through the system until it cools down, and then you don't really have to worry about it. You could unplug it if you really wanted. So as far as that goes, the house I heat with wood primarily. It's right around March 7th today, and this time of year it kind of gets cold and hot, and you get rain and snow, and it's kind of a pain to have the wood stove going when it's 40 out, because it gets too hot in the house or it's too cold in the house. So what I do is I turn the oil on around this time of year, and I heat with the oil and the wood stove. If it's really cold, I turn the wood stove on. So I wouldn't really personally bother with a pellet stove in the house if you're going to be using it as your primary heat source, but I can understand why people do, just from the convenience factor. I like heating with wood because I get most of the wood I get for free. This year I actually bartered with the guy, and I got a full log truck for some work that I did on his vehicle. So I guess what I'm getting at is the pellet stove is a great alternative to a wood stove. Again, you could have other choices like natural gas or propane, but this is just for the setup fee, very little bit of money to get one of these hooked up, set up, where you could have it going that day. A bag of pellets is about $5, and a bag of pellets will run this thing pretty much all day long. So for me, it works out great. If you want to see anything else on this, just feel free to send me a message, and I will see if I can help you out. And I'll show you a picture or a video of the outside as well. Again, this is an old barn built in 1890, and there's no insulation. The windows are garbage. Insulation would help out an awful lot. Maybe I'll do that next year. But you can see it's nothing special. It's just a little workshop for me to work on projects and things like that. So I hope you liked the video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching.